actually meta, and I was very excited to see what Korea was going to bring into this patch.
I know it's a pretty obvious statement though, because it is Samsung versus KT, right? The preparations that went into this match, as these teams are both 2 and 3 right now, must be intense.
Okay, trying to punish this engage score. He's not really that tanky just yet. Will be forced to flash this wall. After they did lose to MVP, one of the lowest ranked teams in LCK currently. Oh, we got a fight going on. Crown, he's going for it. He's got a flash wall. There's the first blood. He actually makes it happen, and so much for him. He goes straight for the Rift Herald. You can see Haru was kind of just out in the lane, down towards there, and now he's moved towards mid. So they're looking for the solo kill. The miasma is not going to hit, but the flash is down. Nunu's here, but the damage is still there. Haru, he's going to flash away, and it doesn't look like Score can pick up the kill. So a nice setup by Samsung to get that kill under the turret.
Samsung Galaxy repaying the Rift Herald with the kill of their own, and that's ready. He's not having a good game, whereas Crown is getting ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were talking about Crown having a little bit of trouble nowadays, but historically, Pawn has also had a bit of trouble, has been inconsistent at times, and I think it's showing a bit here in this game. Kiva, he's trying to stop this tower, but he's now going 1v3. Will flash away, and even the pillar will not get him back in there, so at least KT able to use that Rift Herald and pick up the first blood turret in the top lane.
For a moment there, I thought Kiva. Now Mata picks up the Sight Stone. I do have to say it's not a, full solo queue mentality decision, I feel, because they do have the Nunu who could provide additional damage. But the wall coming down again, and is anything gonna happen? Not yet, it seems.
Oh, Deft gets picked. Okay, Deft, that's the one person, right? They caught him, but he does get out in time, just barely, as the follow-up wasn't quite there. Crown wasn't in position to do enough damage just yet, so.
He was all right. He had the jam.
Later game damage, but they definitely have an opportunity to go for this Baron. You were talking about the Mountain Drake, and we've been talking about, objective taking for both of these compositions all game. So Ruler getting extremely low, though, as he tanks the majority of that Baron, and it looks like they will not have an opportunity to do this, as the teleport was coming in and the wall as well. So not able to pick up that Baron. Hey, okay, you want to fight? Let's go. 1v1. Smeb is going to crush Cuvée, and he's so far ahead as well. So here we go. They're going to try to start this Baron once again, as KT isn't really in position, and they do have a ton of damage. Blue buff for the Crown. The teleport coming in. Smeb also not having teleport. This is a very fantastic time to do it. There it goes. The spike coming in, actually. Not even the Ren. So Score trying to flash in and go for an ult. Not sure about that one as he gets taken out, but here's Deft able to take out one of the back. Gets Cortege as well. Down goes Ruler. And now they're all on the run, so Samsung able to take this Baron, but Deft coming in from behind. Kive just trying to get out of here and just hit that plant, but he can't do it. He is going to eventually go down. He's extremely tanky, but Deft able to pick up the kill. So at least KT able to pick up 3 on their way out.
Well, that fight went along with the game plan of KT, as Deft is able to pick up 2 kills for himself. I was a little bit skeptical when they went for the Baron because Haru.
Okay, goodbye.
Using that burst damage and the Dust Blade. And as we head to the late game, I guess it's obvious to say that the focus is on Deft, but it looks like Cuvée wants to engage here.
Cuvée, he's not alone. He does have Core JJ as well as Ruler coming from the right side, as well as Crown, actually. But the wall is going to come down. They're going to counter-engage. Look at him get bursted. Score like he doesn't even exist. Look at Pawn! He just disappears again! Haru, that's the second time he's done that. What a play. And now the rest of KT, they don't have their Nunu, who's kind of just useless. So just basically a buff bot for Deft at this point. But then once they get Pawn, it's lights out. They have to disengage.
Mata playing that Janna as well is such an easy target for that Rengar assassination. Doesn't have to be, Pawn every time. You lose one piece, and Deft is not as effective as KT hopes him to be. Samsung takes the inner mid lane turret, and looks like they're about to threaten the inhibitor as well.
Yeah, they should be able to get at least this turret. Pawn still 5 seconds on him. Doesn't look like they'll commit any further. Any of these squishy targets could die immediately in just one combo from this Rengar, and you always have to respect that.
Samsung now brute forcing their way into the mid lane inhibitor as well. Again, I think it's a move after they saw how extended Smeb was pushing that bottom lane. I'm not sure if they could actually take it though. maybe QMA might just Twisted Advance again and force the fight. Ruler actually opting to, trade some blows with Def. And looks like this inhibitor might go down.
It's just a couple of auto attacks away.
It's so close, yeah.
You can see how low depth is too. It's kind of just a desperate hold. They're just waiting, and okay, there you go. QSS is burned, but this is going to buy so much time to take out the inhibitor, and that's what Samsung wants. They don't necessarily want the fight, but I mean, we saw this in spring. It's been kind of the theme of 2017 is these giant tanks. When you push on inhibitors, you just go deep, and then you go for it. And oh boy, KT not really respecting this, and they're going to go straight for Smeb here. There comes the Stranglethorns coming out into all that CC. He is extremely tanky, and he's stealing Maokai's tankiness. Oh. He doesn't die! What the hell? And now they're going to turn this on to Cuvee, who's also extremely tanky and gets away. League of Tanks, boys. We're here. It's 2017 summer. Patch 7.14. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Weaver's Wall trying to cut off the retreat, but Samsung not too bothered by it. We're seeing everything in this game. We're seeing, high amounts of burst damage to Rengar, the Dustblade. We're seeing Maokai not dying.
It's just like, doing Maokai things.
It's as if every prediction about 7.14 just came true.
Yeah.
And turned into this, wonky game as Samsung goes back to the Baron.
Look at how fast they take this out. I mean, Crown is just ripping this Baron apart. Cuvee, he's all alone. He's distracting the rest of the team. Even if he goes down, this is going to be fantastic for Samsung. And KT, they can't even chase him. So another Baron taken by Samsung. Accelerated them towards this mid-game, towards getting that first Baron. And now this is kind of what you expect out of a late-game Nunu, not really doing all too much from behind. So Smeb, he's going to get shut down again here, but you can see that they're not going to commit to the kill because they know they can't kill him because it's Trundle.
I like the use of Rengar Ultimate by Haru. He just pops it. He's not, I don't even think he wanted to go in the first.
When you're going up against Score, one of the strongest and most experienced jungles in LCK, I would actually trust Haru. It's funny to say, as Ambition himself is a veteran, but in this patch, in this time period, I would actually trust Haru personally. So look at that. They try to go for a pick, KT, but it doesn't work out. And meanwhile, you got that Maokai ultimate coming in. Pawn just loses half of his health. Haru gets out of there. Score, again, kind of just useless. Up in the front, not doing much. And KT just slowly falling one by one. Samsung, it looks like they're in a fantastic position to take game number one. CoreJJ not able to get that engaged, but it doesn't really matter as everybody on KT is so low. And it looks like in about 33 minutes, Samsung going to take the dominating game number one victory.
You could see the mid lane play and why they had to do it, but in the end, Samsung so far denials. This Shen probably, the most reasonable choice, I think, because
Ogma, he knows how to play these hyper carries, and they just have ridiculous amounts of engage. So there's going to be a lot of pressure here onto CoreJJ to keep his team alive. Small little engage down in the bottom lane as Mata gets a nice grand entrance, but heal is forced too slow on that. And look at this, instead of going for the Raptors, he's going immediately up top. And there were pings on those Raptors. I think KT thinks he's there. So here we go. Need a flag and drag into a cocoon. Smeb, he's so far up in the lane. How do you get out of this one? The teleport's going to come in, but I think he might still go down. Red buff being put down. Oh boy, Cuvee actually getting a little too much damage. Pawn is going to eat that turret shot. And this is getting really dicey up in the top lane. Looks like Score's going to make his way over, and Samsung will respect that. And so they will. Okay, they're going to face check the brush. So Haru is going to flash too.
Gets the flash out of Haru, and much like the last game, we do have a first Mountain Drake, but this time KT the ones pressuring Samsung at the turret, and maybe a kill.
Oh, the Ignite coming down here, and the Rams first blood. What a play there from the bottom lane. We only got to see the last half of that, but must have been some kind of grand entrance, and Ruler not getting out. Actually does have a very big lead though in the mid lane, as Pawn did burn his his teleport to save Smeb up in the top lane. But here we go. We do have a rotation down there trying to engage, but Score's coming in. There's the grand entrance with the Stan United. Shen's going to get involved here, and CoreJJ, he's all alone. They can't save him. That's going to be another kill going over to Deft.
Excellent set play from KT. Crown may have the most farm in the game, but I feel like the biggest difference right now coming in between, hold that thought, is Smeb. He goes for the taunt.
Yeah, the taunt comes in, and Cuvee respecting it enough to even
up a lot of CS over the Tristana, and Tristana being a late game pick. I feel like the AD carry troubles. Oh, KT's coming back for the...
Okay, the flash taunt in here, but where's the rest of KT? They're a little bit late to the party. It doesn't seem like it's going to matter. Smeb, he is going to survive at the end of it all, and an easy cast to push away Haru. But here comes Crown. Does still have the culling and everything, but here comes Mata as well. So just tapping that one happen. Already with all this pressure up in the top lane, they do rotate Deft and Mata up here, and Kive can't really do much. Fate's Call comes out, the grand entrance. Here comes Score, and that is going to be a dead Jarvan. Down he will go, the Rend, and that is a 3-0 Kalista at 12 minutes into the game. Deft is going to be so fed in this one.
Somewhat reminiscent of the previous game as well, as we saw, you know, Samsung Galaxy as they lost the first Drake, and Deft going on to Cuvée. Oh, he wants more.
Blade of the Rune King too. Cuvée, there's so many red stacks. Look at that. Will he burn down from the red? No. The corrupting pot and the Rend, obviously. So, again, even just another thing to rely on Deft for. And okay, big flash on in here. They get onto Ruler. And the Taric ultimate is popped, but look at Elise in the back. They're trying to save her. The Repel comes down. Nice Cataclysm as he does trap everybody, but where's that damage? Not going to be enough. Look at how much Deft does to that front line as they try to dive into the back. They try to get onto one of these members, but they just get eaten alive by this Kalista.
Talk about a Taric ult. It just didn't work that time. Haru went in too deep on Elise, and Deft just ripped him apart. We'll have to see the replay on that, but I think Taric enveloped about 4 members, except for Elise, who was getting hit by Deft. That's the one you want to protect, right? That's the damage. That's the damage you want to ignore. But Deft, all the time in the world to go ham on that Kalista, and he just gets further and further ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this game is all but over at this point. The Kalista is getting way too out of hand. What is he? Yeah, they're definitely looking to take down Tristana and Elise if possible. Mata is getting really frisky here. Still has that Stand United, so he knows that he's safe.
Oh, Haru's gone.
I mean, Haru just getting caught there, not respecting it. This happens all the time from these teams that are behind in that exact position, actually, where the support baits you into thinking that he's going to get caught. And especially when they have a Shen on the side, that is a huge mistake for sure on the side of Haru. And I mean, Samsung was already behind, but now they don't have a jungler, so I think you just got to let this one go.
Immediate Baron attempt by KT, because, I mean, at this point, if you don't go for the Baron, you're doing it wrong. And
it's that Jarvan, and just needs to get out of range if he wants to go for the Stand United. And they're going for a play here. Oh, man, Haru, he gets charmed up. Another mistake, just running straight into the Rakan. Definitely not what you want. Mata still has his flash, too, so could definitely see another engage like that in about 60, 80 seconds once he gets his ult up again. So that's going to be the turret number 1, I should say, inhibitor turret number 1 as they move in towards the mid lane. They don't have an Elise anymore, and they're looking to take down all of the inhibitors that they potentially can in this base.
As soon as the first inhibitor goes down, Smeb moves up from the bottom lane, carries or escorts that mid lane into the mid lane inhibitor, and now they get 2. So bottom inner still remaining, but Deft a little bit of trouble, but
he's like, do you really want to fight me right now? Do you really want to fight me right now? Taric doesn't even have his ult. That was their one opportunity to win a fight, and they go for it, and obviously it does not work. So down goes the rest of Samsung. A triple kill for Deft as he is now 8-0, and that, with that play, KT is just going to end this one. 12-0. At least Samsung was able to get 1 dragon, so it's not a perfect game. But that's going to be it. Down goes the Nexus here, and we're all tied up between KT and Samsung as KT takes game number 2.
The Lucian couldn't get in there. I really wanted to see something new. I wanted to see something novel, but
it's not. I mean, it's 7-14 coming in here, and definitely is one of the bigger picks. We got a big trade in the mid lane as Crown trying to go big, and Pawn, if he gets hit by that poison, that would have been a very nasty spot for him. He does blow his ghost, though. And look at this, Haru, he's in the bot lane. The flash on over from CoreJJ. Knocks that Winter's Bite in. There's the concussive blows, and they will find the first blood on Mata in the bot lane. And they're continuing to go on to Deft here, but Score is in position. You can see that Ruler didn't even join this at all. Scouted on a ward. I believe he was scouted there.
And Crown, almost.
I guess he wasn't scouted because there's the cocoon, and Mata, with no flash available, will eat it. Haru must have skirted around the very edge of that ward. to not be scouted out there, but he makes it happen, and another kill in the bottom lane.
I know we said we're not going to use the T word, but Brendan Valdez, I can't watch.
Oh! Okay, goodbye, Crown. Forgot what a Syndra can do. Got a little bit too frisky, and then easy wants, especially KT. He's up a level, but he's trying to force this fight. Able to dodge the flag and drag, though. Here comes the Cataclysm,
yeah,
but they just
eager to head into that enemy jungle because enough time has passed. There could be Score in there could be anyone in there. And
oh, they didn't see Haru here. Okay, we got a 2-on-2 now. But Haru, what is that goon? Totally going wide. And Cube is going to be burst down here by the couple of them. Haru not able to land the cocoon.
But surely looks like they're going to be able to take the outer tier turret in the bottom lane. Of course, the turret isn't the only. Oh,
Haru, he's going way too deep again, trying to get onto that blue buff, but running into 4 members of KT. And look at this, the TP in from Smeb. Samsung, they are going to respond, but the huge Cataclysm coming in, and he does commit to that TP. Can they actually get Smeb? Okay.
He takes down.
Do get the flash here from Cuvée to secure that kill. Is going to trade the 1 for 2 in that fight, but overall 1 for 3 in favor of KT.
Lightning fast engage from Score to make that all happen. Although, for a moment there, I was really liking Samsung Galaxy's odds. I like how they took the bottom outer tier turret, and I like how Cuvée went in there, got some deep vision while he knew that, Score was down in the bottom lane, but KT, again, not letting them have everything they want. Forcing the 2-2 is in kills and assists, not kills and deaths.
2-0-2.
2-0-2.
2-0-2.
Arrow onto Haru, misses.
Yeah, I think after that death, he's like, okay, I got to stop feeding. Okay, Ruler was going 1v1 in the top lane against a Jarvan. Not a good idea, as Core JJ wasn't there to help him out. Now Score and Mata trying to get onto this Braum. He is pretty tanky at this point anyway, and it doesn't look like the rest of them can follow up. So just only
get a couple of kills on top of the top lane outer, as well as the vision around the Rift Herald.
What? He just literally walks up to Smeb and tries to auto attack. They want to go for the Baron just yet. Perhaps just try to deny as much vision as possible and force Samsung into a bad position. Well, they're looking for picks over and over, and well, we do have the repel coming in. He still gets knocked up. Haru is in too bad of a position as he does trade back damage, but not quite enough as he gets taken out.
They might not have been going for the Baron, but
secures that kill.
So decisive, so assured that they could get the pick 100% as Mata just flashes forward for the stun. Doesn't hit, but still gets the Elise. Smeb and Cuvée duking it down the bottom lane. I think Cuvée might get this.
The charge coming in, and he's trying to burst him down, but Syndra is here. Close. The stun comes out, and he's hopped off a Scarl. It's not enough damage, and that's going to do it. The kill goes over with the help of Pawn. They do take out Cuvée.
Smeb with the turnaround and a lot of great results.
This is what he's been doing for the majority of summer. And here we go. Samsung, they're the team that can do Baron. They have the Cassiopeia. They have the Blade of the Rune King. So they're going to try to burst it down, but an immediate response here from KT, so they have to disengage. But here comes the charge, getting on top of Pawn. Nice Stranglethorns to get the rest of it. Samsung away. Here's Smeb, the huge Cataclysm onto 3 members. Haru alone is going to be burst down, and the rest of Samsung is on the run, as it looks like they're on the chase. Death going to be able to get a double kill. There's the triple. Core JJ also going to get sniped out here as KT fully routing the team of Samsung.
Almost a clean ace, and you could have told by the moment Smeb turned that TP on, it was going to be bad for Samsung. Such a terrible, multi-angle engage for Samsung to try to get out of, and it leads up to a KT Baron as they take on 4 kills.
Calmly too.
He's not that great in getting out of, a multi-pronged attack like that, and KT taking everything they can here, taking the mid lane and even pushing in the bottom lane inner.
Okay, Score is going to get quote-unquote caught out.
But the Nature's Grasp.
Oh! That's what I'm saying. I mean, he gets caught, but he's not going to die. They don't have enough damage. There's the Cataclysm and the follow-up from Zyra Crown. He can't go 1v5 by himself. It's not going to work. Pawn is still on the chase. He takes out another one as Kled was already off a Scarl, and this one is spiraling out of control. KT still with the Baron, and looks like they're going to go for the end.
That's right. I think when you see matches at such high caliber teams like these, you usually use the term, they're getting tripped away, they're getting broken away, but KT blowing Samsung away bit by bit. It's like, there it is, the ace.
Yeah, it's just way too much engaged. They're trying to keep this place alive, their base. Rather, that's the word I was looking for. And that's going to be game number 3 going over to KT. Well done, taking that 2-1 victory with a very engaged-oriented composition. I think Dracos once said something, draft more engaged than your opponent, engage before your opponent, and slaughter them. And that's exactly what KT did. I mean, that's what 7.14 is right now, and they executed it very, very well in Game 3.
Smeb definitely looks happy about the result, and like you said, couldn't be that hard, right? Run straight at the opponent and get the win. Well, that Game 3 was exciting, very one-sided. Well, games 1 and 2, I think all games were actually pretty one-sided if you look at it.
This game just got out of control really fast. It was very close. They were very even in gold up until the Baron call. And I said it, I mean, Samsung, it seems like we were on the same page. They have the Baron taking team, but they didn't have deep vision. They didn't clear out all of the wards. They didn't cross their T's and dot their I's. They're like, hey, maybe we can burst this Baron. Maybe we can make this risky play work. And just one bad decision is